What is up, everybody? Welcome to the 30th episode of the Deep Web Pod. We are getting into something insane. We're going to be talking about some ties behind the scenes and the 2020 election. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and just dive right into it, man. Hey, I feel that, dude. Yeah, it's been a crazy couple of weeks.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
Yeah, man. Well, shit, I guess. You ready to get started?
What's this, episode 30?
Episode 30, dude.
Dirty 30.
Dirty
Okay.
30. And it's about to be the dirtiest of 30s.
The dirtiest of 30s?
The dirtiest of 30s.
Oh, no. My 30th birthday was kind of dirty, bro.
Oh, man, it wasn't this dirty.
Oh, okay.
We're about to get into some dirt.
Well, let's get into it, my boy.
All right. Well, what up, everybody? Welcome to episode 30. It's your boy 7C's and Oats, Maine. You can find us Deep Web Pod on Rumble, Twitter, and follow us on Twitter as well for all of your best conspiracy news, info, and just ways to connect the dots, I guess, right?
My boy just fucking crushed it.
Yeah, hey.
Murdered it, bro. I don't even have to say a damn thing. Dirty 30, bro. Let's get into it.
All right. So, before we get the ball rolling, what are your thoughts on the 2020 election?
Well, right now I am very sleep deprived, and I still would have to say that the 2020 election it was rather fucked, bro. I'm just gonna say. I mean, I'm of the belief that it was a rigged election. I think maybe most of them are, if not all of them, for an agenda. If they want something to happen, it's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of feel the same way, where it's like they're never gonna let somebody that isn't playing ball get that far. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, you're gonna have to, suck some dick, if you will, metaphorical dick, to get where you're going.
Yeah. Well,
they don't let just anybody in there.
Well, what if I told you that I had what I would consider irrefutable proof that Kamala Harris, Donald Trump, and Hillary Clinton colluded together to secure the 2020 election for Joe Biden?
Well, see, I was just talking about this with my brother, all right?
Yeah.
Obviously, you know me, I would prefer Donald Trump over Kamala Harris. But I think most people would, and I think that was the whole point, is Kamala is just so fucking insufferable that you just, who in their right mind would put Kamala up against anybody?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially someone like Donald Trump, which has a huge following. But I feel like the 2020 election needed to happen for the way Donald Trump is just very polarized person. I feel like it changed that for the 2024 election to where it almost brought more people over to liking him, but I think that might be for a reason in the future that we're just not aware of.
Yeah, dude, I like where your head is at, because
I think they needed more people to like him and they just weren't there yet, so they had to make the last 4 years as shitty as possible to be like, oh fuck.
Yeah, it's like painting him to now be the lesser of the two evils, as opposed to like, oh, look at this.
I mean, if I was gonna go, sometimes I like to get lost in it, bro. Like, pro wrestling, you get lost in it. You start, just falling into it, leaning into it a little bit because you want the excitement and the storyline and all that. You want to believe.
Yeah.
So I mean, I do that from time to time, and I'm like, oh fuck, I like Trump. It's hard not to like him. He says so much shit that's like, you want politicians to say, you know, but I'm also not so dumb as to believe that there's not a bigger plan usually.
Yeah, like blind faith is I see that so much these days where it's like, well,
Yeah.
I don't care about this thing that you proved. I think it's, they say it's like part of a long con or something that he's doing, or it's like part of the Q conspiracy shit, or
Oh, it's so bad the other way. Like, I look at all the liberals that are losing their mind
Yeah.
on these videos. I don't know, bro. I will say I do like the things that they're saying when it comes to like RFK, you know, being in charge of the fucking health and shit like that.
yeah,
You know, taking over what is it, the CDC kind of and all that shit, Department of Health or whatever the fuck he's doing.
yeah,
I like what Trump's saying about getting rid of income tax if that's really a thing he's gonna do. You know.
yeah.
There's things about it that I'm like, fuck, dude, that would just be too perfect, you know?
Yeah. Well, one of Trump's advisors has already put a pin in the RFK getting a cabinet position thing.
Why is that?
He said that they're not going to be appointing him to a position, and that all they're going to do is give him the vaccine data.
See, I
investigate.
saw something about that, but the only source I could see was from a CNN source,
Yeah.
and I couldn't find anything else about it.
Yeah, I saw a couple different posts that were like verifying it, so like AF Post and I think New
Okay,
York
so
Post
it's
posted it.
verified. It's not just some one source saying it. There's actually verification.
Yeah, he actually there's this lady named Susie Wiles, and she's like big pharma through and through, and she's actually going to be the first woman to be the chief advisor for Trump in the White House. He, like,
I
handpicked
saw her. Yeah, I saw her.
Yeah, she's big pharma and the antithesis of everything that RFK stands for.
She's got the mushroom head, right?
Yeah.
Mushroom hair?
Yeah, that's her.
I saw her.
Yeah, she sucks.
So, what would be the point of all of that?
You know,
what would be the business move behind that? Because that seems like an awful business move for someone that literally just won the election, a lot of it being based on having RFK's voters who had a pretty decent following that, you know, he kind of took from
like siphoned
him.
Yeah. Not to mention all the people that donated to RFK's campaign when he was on election day telling people not to vote for him and to go vote for Donald Trump. And I'm like,
so do you think that maybe they were planning on doing that, and then the powers that be were like, hey, yeah, you're not coming in and getting in between us and these food dyes and all these chemicals and shit, bro. We're doing this.
Yeah, I think that they probably got a RFK to hop on the Trump train so that when he inevitably won, it was that much more convincing, and they could scapegoat RFK for the Democrats and like all this other shit.
Okay. So what is this irrefutable evidence that you're talking about? I'm very intrigued.
All right, so
we don't have much time tonight, so we need to get into it and get to it.
You got it. So I was on election night. I was looking into both candidates and just kind
as you do,
and just kind of pros and cons, weighing things right, just to kind of see who I thought maybe would be the victor based on how tied up in shit they are. And I started to find some like really odd connections.
Oh my god, you and these fucking graphs, dude. You kill it every time. And I don't know how you do it.
Hey, dude.
Because, bro, this is like connecting the dots.
Yes.
For real, bro.
And I have the whole narrative here for you too.
This is the actual definition of connecting the dots.
Yes. So this, back in 2013, Steve Mnuchin worked at One West Bank, which is owned by George Soros. It was
nice.
It was implicated in foreclosure violations in 2013 and got shut down. Should have been prosecuted, wasn't. The AG for California refused to prosecute them even though they had evidence.
Because George Soros.
Yeah, who was the AG of California at the time?
Was it Kamala?
It was Kamala Harris.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, Steve Mnuchin was not only under One West Bank, But
that's a hell of a name, Mnuchin.
yeah,
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's fun to say.
It's like, where does that come from?
Mnuchin. I don't know. I didn't look too much into his...
Where does that name or like originate from? That's crazy,
dude. You want to look it up real quick?
I mean, real quick. I'm just curious.
Yeah. Let's see.
Like, what's his early life talking about?
Let's see. We've got... He's American. Yeah, he is.
Early life?
Yeah. Right.
Motherfucker, dog. Look at him. I would have known just from seeing his fucking face.
Right there.
God dang, bro.
Dude.
God dang, bro. I
just
had a feeling.
So the other thing about Steve Mnuchin is that Donald Trump handpicked him. Now, this is after his known verified ties to George Soros. Donald Trump handpicked him to be the Treasury Secretary under his administration. Now, Steve Mnuchin was critical in making sure that the CARES Act and the facilitation of the government spending of $6.5 trillion went into effect.
Fuck.
Which lines right up with...
Trillions, bro. We ain't talking about millions, not billions. You know what I'm saying?
This is why we have inflation right now. This is why there's millions of vax-injured people. Why you can't legally sue Big Pharma for them injuring you now.
It's crazy because people run their mouths all day about little fucking thousands and fucking millions, little shit here and there. Dude, we're talking trillions, bro.
That's enough to buy countries.
That's a fucking shit ton, bro. If you really think about how much money that is, that's a shit ton. And not 1 trillion, 2 trillion. You know what I'm saying?
In that year alone, we spent more money than we've ever spent in a single year in American history. And that's including wars. Like,
crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So he was responsible for all of that. Now, when you look into One West Bank and go back to George Soros, you can obviously see like Soros was donating to Kamala, and so is Alex Soros, who strangely enough is married to Huma Abedin, who was the chairman of...
Who was that?
She was one of Hillary Clinton's campaign advisors in 2016.
I've never heard of her before.
And she's been a longtime member of the Clinton Foundation with a lot of her work in like Haiti and shit.
That's the way they like it, though. They like it when you've never heard of them.
Yeah.
Because they can do shit behind the scenes, under the radar. And that's what you're doing right now, is blowing that shit out the water.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, other people might have heard of her, but the common folk probably have no idea who that is.
And that's the thing, dude, is like laying all this stuff out for the layman's, which is why I like these webs, because you can like see
if you look at it from afar, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
But it also, if you try to just think of this in your mind, there's no way you could put it together without this.
Yeah.
This brings it into like a physical form. You can fucking follow it in every direction. If you get fucked up, you can go back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I fucking love it.
Hell yeah, dude. I appreciate it, man. I threw this together because I really wanted to like get it out there, you know.
Bro, I can tell how much work and effort you put into this shit. So thank you, bro.
Yeah, absolutely, man. The pursuit of truth is all that matters.
Killing it, bro. Killing it.
Hey. So obviously we've got like the Clinton Foundation, Hillary Clinton's associated with Soros and all of them, everything that comes with George Soros, like his ties to the UN, WEF, Monsanto, Larry Fink, BlackRock. I don't need to get into all of that specifically because that's
kind of all
that would just
surface
go.
level.
Yeah, it would all go down like different rabbit holes and we'd be here forever. But George Soros also runs something called the Open Society Foundation, which is where a lot of his political donations come through and shit like that.
So very generic name. I've never really heard of that either.
Yeah, very globalist sounding name, right? So Open Society Foundation's sitting president during Biden's term after he won was Mark Brown. Mark Brown had previously served as the Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations.
Wow, okay.
until December 2006. He was also a former member of the Labour Party, which you'll know was the shit going on in the UK that was ruining their country.
Yeah, yeah.
Served as the Minister of State of Africa at the United Nations. He was also a development specialist for the World Bank from 1994 until 1999. Administered.
Like, you hear about this shit all the time. This is how, like, oh, you got to know somebody. It's all in who you know. You know, everybody's connected. Whatever. This is literally that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
And then also like UN development programs and shit like that. And like, it's plain as day in his Wikipedia. You can Open Society Foundation, Deputy Secretary of the United Nations, Labour Party, Minister of State.
Yeah,
like
it's all right there, man.
Development of Specialist, World Bank, United Nations, all that shit, right?
Yeah, it's all right there.
So like it's all been verified. Now the thing with Mark Brown though is Mark Brown was also the chairman of a company you may have heard of called Smartmatic.
This is where it's going.
So yes, dude, it's getting real interesting. So Smartmatic, you can see right here, he joined the government of Gordon Brown in 2007 at the Foreign and Commonwealth Office and was elevated to the House of Lords as a life peer. After stepping down from the government in 2009, blah, 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 in 2014, he was appointed chairman of the board of directors of election technology manufacturer Smartmatic Holding Company. He served as president of Open Society Foundations right after that.
Motherfucker, bro.
Smartmatic. A little bit about them. They are a voting machine company.
Yeah.
And they were sued for their implication of the 2020 election because of all the reports.
This is what's fucked up. How is the thing that we do our elections on so compromised that it's created by someone that has so much fucking pull and power? It's fucked up, dude.
I know. Well, I'm about to show you why they use them, which I mean I think is pretty obvious. You know,
I mean, we know why.
Yeah.
To rig the shit.
But I'm going to show you how.
That's what I want to see.
Yeah. So Smartmatic escaped indictment when they got sued by a bunch of law firms for their what is quoted as a lot of hallmarks of some of the ugliest Foreign Corrupt Practice Act violations that you could find, according to Scott Graytack with Transparency International.
Dude, you're just blowing my mind with this. I'm just sitting here thinking, like, you are crushing it, bro.
Dude.
Like, you're just. I remember you did this with Peter Thiel and fucking JD Vance and all that, and like, it just every time it just. I love these things, dude.
Hey,
these things blow my fucking mind, bro.
Man, at the end of the episode, I'll show you how big the teal web has gotten.
I mean, I feel bad because I'm not really bringing anything to this episode except for getting my mind blown.
Yeah.
You know, but I feel like that's kind of whoever's watching this will relate with that because this is just crazy, bro.
Yeah, I know. And like, if you have any questions or anything, like, feel free to stop. I've been looking at this for like 4 days. I'm
just trying to figure out how you start connecting all this shit. You just remember something, you're like, oh fuck, let me. So you know what I'm saying? How do you get to the next level? And you just, I don't know how you do it. So because this is not the first time you've done this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
this all started with, I think the most important thing is always to follow the money.
Yeah.
But when I learned that DLA Piper was the law firm that had represented Smartmatic in this lawsuit, I looked into them and found out that one of their senior advisors was somebody, I'm not going to spoil it yet, but
yeah, don't spoil it.
But we're going to get, and that's what I was like, hold on, dude, I need to look at this completely differently.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Seriously.
So Smartmatic entered into an agreement with Dominion in 2009, which you can see down here. This is a government document that says
The infamous Dominion.
they split from each other in 2012, but then entered into, I guess, what would be considered a friendly competition thing, like a controlled opposition against each other narrative.
Yeah, because that's what people need, something to root for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now, Smartmatic in the elections counted votes in Venezuela, and they were also part of. I don't think it'll let me zoom in anymore, but they were also part of Philippine voter fraud attached to the 2016 election. Right? So we have Dominion, which was also sued in accordance with Smartmatic because they also helped. Is what people are saying. Like, I'm sure you saw a lot of shit about the Dominion voting machines specifically in 2020.
2020, yeah.
Yeah. So Dominion employs this guy named Jared Thomas.
Doesn't Dominion mean something? I remember in an episode before it like translates to something.
I actually have a post about this that I can show you.
Say it translates to like control or something like that, right?
Yes. So let's check something really quickly. Who owns the U.S. voting machines? Dominion. What does it mean? Sovereignty or control? What are some synonyms? Power, authority, control, command, sway.
It just reminds me of like Google Chrome and then like Google Adreno. It's like they put it right there for you.
Yeah.
But you're just like, oh, it's just a name that just sounds good,
yeah.
You know. But really, it's like it's telling you.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, trying to replace Dominion with any of these other ones, like control voting machine or command voting, like that wouldn't work.
Yeah, sway.
Yeah, ridiculous shit, dude.
Yeah. Crazy, bro.
Now, after they entered into an agreement, so Dominion hired this guy named Jared Thomas, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's sort of like a lobbyist for them, has been for a while. Jared Thomas got tapped by Georgia Governor Brian Kemp.
Motherfucker.
Now, Brian Kemp had Jared Thomas as his chief of staff and press secretary from 2012 until 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Now, since then, he's, you know, gone on to other avenues and things like that. But you might not have heard that Georgia actually awarded. This was after they were investigated with this shit with the voter fraud in Venezuela and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia still awarded them an exclusive contract to be the vote counting machines for Georgia. Just
Still,
so happens,
after all that.
yeah,
yeah, of course.
But it just so happens one of their lobbyists was the Georgia Attorney General's chief of staff, which you can see, like top aides benefit as Kemp shuffles pay structure, and then it goes into like talking about each of them and shit like that. And I went ahead and linked that in here. If people want to go take a look at that, that's on.
Yeah, they need to, bro.
It's American Journalist something. I can't remember. AJC.
My boy, you've done the Lord's work. You've done so much research just for people to be able to. They don't even have to do it, bro. It's right here for you. You just look at it. It tells you whatever you need to know, and I mean everything is legit. You're not making none of it up.
No.
You can look it all up and find it yourself.
Yeah, and I'm using like public sources and nothing that's like a blog post or anything that can't be
bro.
verified. So the funny part is though, do you remember the name James Comey?
Oh yeah, I remember the name for sure.
Do you remember who he was?
Fuck. I'm sure if I wasn't sleep deprived and maybe I had heard it more recently, yeah, but I know the fucking name for sure.
Does the Hillary Clinton email case ring a bell?
Oh, shit. Okay.
So, James Comey, who investigated the Clinton email scandal in the Clinton Foundation, was the one that made the final decision not to recommend prosecution for her right? You remember that?
Yeah,
How
yeah.
he said, I didn't find any wrongdoing or anything like that.
Uh-huh.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
so James Comey's up here.
Uh-huh.
And you can even see this on like the FBI website and shit like that, where he released his official statement. Now, what you don't know is that the Clinton Foundation, as a part of that investigation, the law firm that audited them was DLA Piper.
Okay, and what's up with that?
One of the executives at DLA Piper was in charge of it, and you'll never guess who it was.
Go ahead, blow my fucking mind, bro.
James Comey's brother, Peter Comey.
It's all about who you know, bro. Connections.
Swear to God, dude. And
insane.
There is an official congressional House record where this is brought to light. This is
bro.
congressional transcripts that says, anyway, is it just rather interesting who had any idea that Comey's family had such ties to the Clinton Foundation? Peter Comey himself redesigned the FBI building.
That's insane, bro. What the fuck?
Yeah. And, you know, obviously grew up with his brother in New Jersey suburbs. And
like, how do you just get propped up in these positions, you know? And not just, it's like it reminds me of the Adam Lanza dude, the fucking, what is his name, Kemp or something? The fucking
Ryan Kraft.
Kraft. Yeah. Fuck. Dude, like, just in all these positions all at once.
Yeah.
How does that make any sense unless you know somebody?
I know. They just expect people to be too worried about what Kim Kardashian is doing to fucking...
and they are, dude. They're right, because they are.
Yeah. Now, if Peter Comey was the senior director of real estate operations for Americas in 2015 for DLA Piper down here, and he broke... he was running things for the Clinton Foundation when those scandals first broke in 2015. So he was already like in place in case she was going to get investigated by the FBI, because her brother was in charge of the law firm, or James Comey was in charge of the law firm that was going to investigate her regardless.
Of course.
Now, not only was DLA Piper, the firm where Comey's brother worked, involved in the audit of them, but according to the foundation's donor records, DLA Piper had given between $50,000 to $100,000 to the Clinton Foundation in campaign donations.
Dude, just so much money being passed around here, there. It's like, of course you can't keep up with all of it.
I know. It's insane.
This money shit, bro, it's got to be another way to do this life thing besides money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Here it is. I found it. So this is a statement directly from the Clinton Foundation themselves, where it lists right here, you can see Kathy Keneally, the former Assistant Attorney General for the Tax Division of the United States Department of Justice, who is now the chair of civil and criminal tax litigation in DLA Piper's Global Tax Group. She in turn engaged Cohn Resnick, a CPA firm that had not previously worked at the foundation, looked at all of their forms from 2010, 11, and 12, blah, blah, blah. So proof that like they had been in coordination with each other.
It's so weird. Like, why even put this out without people asking for it? You know,
right?
Why just give out so much information about shit? I don't get that.
I think there's something that's so powerful to them about the war for the minds of men, that having all of their bases covered to look like they're not doing something awful is the thing that they're trying the hardest to do and always failing at.
Because it always gives it away.
Yeah. But they just always bank on nobody paying attention. Now, you know,
which they don't.
Right.
You're the one psychopath that does pay attention.
Dude. I've gotten both compliments and I wouldn't say death threats, but a lot of people are like really mad at me for just putting links together. I'm like,
fuck them, dude.
Yeah. I'm not even expressing any opinions. I'm just like, this happened, then this happened. And they're like, I don't like that truth. It doesn't sit with my narrative.
Well, that's everything, whether it be people in denial over like Israel and all that shit, or just everything. Nobody wants to hear it if it's been deemed a problem to talk about, dangerous. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, you're a fucking Nazi. Why can't I just point out an observation that so many people in powerful positions are Jewish and that they are a very small population of people? How does that happen?
Yeah.
And why can't I point that out without being labeled a Nazi?
Dude, I'm saying it's
they've done this back. I feel like all of Nazi Germany and all that bullshit was to bastardize even talking about it to where you can't even bring it up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's such a taboo thing. You're not even supposed to bring it up.
Yeah. And I mean, we could get into the whole like World War II narrative, but that is not why we're here today.
No, that's totally different. I'm just it reminds me of that is what I'm saying. Like, you're not allowed to talk about certain things that people have for some reason deemed not able to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though it's just pointing out an observation.
It's like if what they are saying is so untrue, then just let it be, because it'll unravel itself.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah.
But if what people are saying is true and you're trying to hide that, that's where, all the guilty shit and all the...
That's when it gets weird, bro. Yeah. Why are you so dead set on hiding the truth?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's where I'm just like, all right, well, let's see why.
Let's blow this shit out of the water and show everybody.
Yeah.
And I fuck with that, bro. That's cool as shit.
Right. So, DLA Piper, that company, right?
Uh-huh.
They also represented Smartmatic in the 2020 case against I guess it's some company called Election Systems and Software LLC. Sued.
Such a basic ass name.
Yeah. They sued Smartmatic and claimed that they had helped rig the elections for Joe Biden. Well, DLA Piper, when they were representing Smartmatic, Doug Imhoff was working there up until Kamala Harris was picked to be vice president.
So my whole thing is, if they rigged the 2020 election and Trump was in on it, everybody was in on it, why would they make it so obvious? Why wouldn't Trump just fall back? And why'd they have to fucking go so hard? Why'd they have to fake the extra 15 million votes that Biden got? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the part that I don't get.
And that's where I think it just ends up becoming a psyop in and of itself. Do
they want is the psyop, part of the psyop is to let it be known that they're rigging the elections? You know what I'm saying? Is that part of the plan? Because it would have to be.
I do think that's what it was. Is Trump's whole narrative for this campaign was make it too big to rig. That's what he said.
What is the end game? Is it the one world government? Is it the Project Bluebeam? Is it the fucking... Is that supposed to bring in the one world government? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure out what the end game is for all of us to be fucking slaves to the fucking overlords. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck?
Yes. That is actually exactly what it is. 15-minute cities, open air prisons, digital ID, one world currency.
But they're doing it in a way to where we're not aware of it, and they're like, we want it,
Yeah. Yeah. If you want to get into Peter Thiel and his shit and why he's a fucking demon.
Bro, this motherfucker has his hands in so much shit that you had to zoom out so fucking far, dude.
Bro, what about this? Ethereum started by somebody that Peter Thiel fucking groomed.
No,
yep.
Dude.
Yep, through the Thiel Foundation.
And that's why, like, you can buy fucking Ethereum on PayPal and fucking...
Yep. You also have...
Motherfucker, dude.
He's tied to Marquez Brownlee of MKBHD.
What?
He's tied to the Johns Hopkins University shit and all the COVID stuff, and that's when...
The Johns Hopkins fucking SPARS pandemic shit, bro.
Dude, I'm telling you. And, like, you start getting into, like, Rowan Farrow is also from there. He worked for the Obamas and the Clintons.
So, this motherfucker, Peter Thiel, is like the fucking overlord of everything.
what I see is he
He's
basically
like upper management.
yeah. Have you ever heard of like I forget what it's called, but it's like the Hegelian dialect or whatever. Hegelian dialect. That's like his whole thing. Him and Elon Musk and all them.
So if this all this shit was a corporation, he would be like the guy that like is over all the districts. He's not quite the leader or the owner or the CEO, but he's like oversees all of the district managers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you got district managers, and you got the person above them, and then next is like fucking CEO, shit like that.
Yeah, I would consider him like a knight. Like probably closest to the like king and queen, but still not the one pulling all the, because I don't even know who all is behind Peter Thiel. I know that his dad got rich securing gold mines in Papua New Guinea and uranium mines in Nambia, and now he's selling the Nambian uranium to China.
He's like a trusted source that's propped up in a position because they trust him.
Yeah. And honestly, man, what's going on here, and it's pretty easy to see, is there's this thing called the Hegelian dialect. And that is where you own not only both sides, but also the side that is like critical of both of those sides. So like you're starting to talk about, it's structured as a 3-part process consisting of a thesis, an antithesis, and a synthesis. The thesis is the status quo. The antithesis is a new historical development that challenges the status quo. And the synthesis is a new form of life that emerges from the 2 prior stages.
So it's just a fucking another word for a huge psyop.
Yeah.
You are the opposition and the fucking the other part.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you're the what the ending is gonna be.
Yeah. And the main point too is like not getting rid of either one of them, but like morphing them together, which is why you're getting all the Cheneys backing the left and the Bushes backing.
Yeah, that's so yeah, I was about to say that, dude.
Yeah. And the RFK endorsement, like jumping over to Trump, and all these like celebrities that were Democrats that moved around to Trump, and it's like this whole fucking social shift.
So what do you think is up with this is a little left-sided, but it kind of goes along. So what do you think's up with like the Diddy, all the people in the Diddy thing coming? Do you think they're just used like pawns that they don't need anymore? They're just kind of tossing them away. They've done what they needed to.
Oh
in
yeah.
In the process that they have no use for them anymore.
Absolutely, dude. I did some digging into Bill Ackman, which I don't know,
because I'm of the belief that like Hollywood, like all of the celebrity idolizing and all that is just, it's done, bro. Then we're never gonna get it back, and they've did what they had to do. They've used them as their pawns for that. The fucking 80s and the 90s when like it was like all movies, music, fucking music videos, that shit's all gone, bro.
Yeah, what I kind of foresee is like what was the Hollywood like mainstream monolith of entertainment is now going to be a bunch of fake grassrooted people that they can pay pennies on the dollar compared to those to start moving like Joe Rogan and like all these podcasters and shit. You don't have to pay them tons of money and come out with movies that have to be good. You just get them to be kind of funny and spout off propaganda, and you're controlling the narrative all the same.
Yeah.
Now, Bill Ackman is actually a huge part of like the Universal Music Group shit and tied in with Diddy because he's like one of their top board of directors. And he's also one of the #1 donors to Planned Parenthood.
Of course.
He was a lifelong Democrat until very recently when he started funding Strive and Vivek Ramaswamy, who worked for George Soros for a while, sold the COVID vaccine through his company Roivant, which, Vivek's like, fuck the COVID vaccine makers and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, well, you became a billionaire off of the COVID vaccine, actually, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
And like Chris Pavlovsky and all of them connected to Rumble, how Howard Lutnick and like Truth Social have invested in it. JD Vance, Peter Thiel has directly. Like, dude, it's all Like, this guy was a diehard Democrat, and now he's coming out harder for Trump than anybody, and he flipped like that. And that lets you know that, like, it's all just one big fucking club, and we ain't in it, dude.
Oh, yeah, for sure, bro. Anybody that's hoisted up in a position that you've never heard of before, and they just, like Vivek Ramaswamy or whatever, it's like, dude, obviously they're put there for they've earned their position there doing something.
Yeah.
They're not going to give you a platform. They're not going to talk about you on mainstream media or anything unless you've done something for them.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's getting pretty extensive as far as like the web and stuff. But I mean, there's no way that any new emerging information could ever happen that's going to convince me that there is anything other than this form of control that they have here and us. And that's all it's ever going to be.
Yeah. I mean, that's literally everything, bro.
Yeah.
You know?
But
crazy.
This is essentially how they stole the 2020 election, and I'm almost convinced that this was the same strategy they used to get Trump in office in 2016, and that his concession was, hey, we know that we wouldn't be able to push like COVID and lockdowns and vaccines through Hillary because everyone hates her. But if we get the populist candidate to do it, because it's something that appeals to the sensibilities of the left, even though he's a right-wing candidate, then they'll forgive the fact that he created Operation Warp Speed, which created the vaccines, or shut down the country, or printed all that. Like, everyone has forgotten all that shit.
So this is just one big long con, and they do it in such a slow process that you don't really know that they're doing it, you know?
Yeah, it's meant to be like intentionally confusing and convoluted and like overwhelming.
And the plan's been there for decades, bro.
Yeah, like a lot of this stuff was put in place in the 80s specifically for like all the new tech, like AI tech companies, the biotech companies that are coming out now.
I mean, I bet that the whole United States was formed just for this purpose.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, they've all been like working together, but this like there's like a new aged revitalization of the shit where they're like doing things fast and effective now. And I think that comes from like Peter Thiel and his like massive spine, because he can see everything on everyone's phones all the time. He knows what's going on and how people are, you know, and then the MK Ultra shit and how they're getting people to believe in that whole narrative. I still don't think that they actually shot at Trump, dude. I don't think that was real.
I'm trying to think of the options. Either they didn't shoot at him and he fell to the ground and did the pro wrestling thing where you get color, quote unquote, you know, draw blood on yourself. And the person that died wasn't even a real person.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't know, bro. I'm not saying I know one way or the other.
Yeah.
But what I do know is that I don't think that person on the roof that they killed was the person that did anything other than a patsy and part of the plan.
Yeah.
Because there's no way that person would have shot even that good if it was a shot, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I'd even be convinced that he never even fired a shot.
Yeah.
And that they shot at one random guy in the audience to give credibility to the attack.
The illusion that,
Yeah, because it's crazy when you go through these things with especially Trump supporters, is you're like, okay, so we can both agree that 9/11 that took place in broad daylight in front of the entirety of New York City with thousands of camera angles and all this evidence was fake, was staged, was an inside job. But they can't fake a couple of bullets going by some dude's head with like half the population. There was no fucking destruction. Like, I don't know, dude. It's like, yeah, I agree 9/11 was probably the government, but there's no way that they, you know, staged this. How?
I don't like the theory that he knew he was getting shot at and took the shot because he knew they were going to be that. I don't think that's how it is. I think if anything, he got color.
Yeah.
Like, you know, faked the blood and
Yeah,
You know,
that's what I think, because when he's getting shot, like, he does the misdirect over to the graph so nobody's looking directly at him, which is what magicians do all the time when they're about to do that sleight of hand.
Yeah.
No camera is showing the other side of his ear as he's getting shot at.
Oh, well, there were people that were filming in the front row, the most perfect camera angle, the most clear camera. And if you look it up, there's a video of it, and it was like, oh, I turned my camera off at this given second so I could, give the person behind me a good view. And there's no way that didn't just get confiscated.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
well.
I don't know, man.
We're getting on a tangent, but I agree.
Yeah. But yeah, this is like probably the most simplified way that I can say, like, hey, these two voting machines that make up like 70% of vote collecting in America are all tied back to all these same people, and they all still just did what the one world government wants them to do anyway.
Yeah, I agree, bro.
Crazy shit.
I agree, bro. I think you're onto something, and like I said, I love these graphs you come up with. It's so digestible when you start actually following it. Looking at it from afar, it might look like a lot, but if you zoom in and you follow one to one, it's so digestible, and you can look it up and find the proof yourself. It's really fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I'm starting to gain a lot of traction, especially on Twitter and stuff.
I see the hard work you're putting into it, and I think anything that comes your way, opportunity wise, you deserve it, bro.
Hey, I appreciate that, man. Oh,
yeah, man.
One tiny little piece I forgot to mention was Stacey Abrams, who is over Georgia.
God, bro. I could have went without this. I hate that gap-toothed bitch, bro.
She was on the Bilderberg steering group with Alex Karp, CEO of Palantir, Eric Schmidt of Google, and Peter Thiel.
Of course.
Yeah. So,
thanks for ruining my night.
Hey, you're welcome, brother. If it makes you feel any better, I find solace in the fact that it's all staged, because then I don't have to invest emotional weight into the outcomes of this, because I know at the end of the day, none of it's for me. None of it's in my best interest.
Super black pilled.
Even more so, like, I would say it's white pilling in the sense of like, okay, so
it's liberating.
Yeah, like, you don't have to participate in this shit. So
it's not hopelessness. It's more of like
enlightenment.
Yeah, what is the word? I fucking distance myself from it, and I don't even pay attention to it. That's how I was all of my 20s, bro.
Yeah. And I
didn't give a fuck about nothing.
It's crazy because, I remember having that same sentiment when I was younger. Obviously, I didn't know exactly who was in charge yet, but I used to think, like, fuck them all, fuck them both, like, both sides, the whole world.
You talked about that plenty of times.
Yeah, and then I ended up getting psyoped into the fucking, whole 2016 emotional roller coaster in 2020, and then I've just
fucking Bernie, bro.
Yeah, and I've just looped all the way back.
Bernie did that to a lot of young people, dude.
Dude, I really thought that the things that he were saying, like, it's like Santa Claus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not good. That's not good.
Yeah, I feel you, bro. I mean, you're not alone in that. That's for sure.
Yeah. And I don't know, man. I think
a lot of people are just waking up now.
Yeah. Like, I see a lot of people that are, like, being emotionally toyed with every day by, like, the mainstream media, where it's like, oh, did you see what Kamala did? Did you see what Trump said? And, like, all this shit. And I'm like, man, I'm so glad to be away from all that and realize that it, like, take it for what it is, you know? And
so, like I said, is I choose to fall into it for the entertainment aspect of it, kind of like you do pro wrestling. But deep down, I'm right there with you.
Yeah,
I know it's all bullshit, and part of me loves seeing people get riled up online.
Yeah.
All the fucking blue hairs that really wanted Kamala to win. I love seeing them have meltdowns because like they're so invested in this, and I don't know. It just it's something about it. I do enjoy it. But I know it's bullshit.
Yeah. I was saying, hey, if the left gets psyoped into storming the Capitol, can we call it the Gay 6 incident?
Hey, the boy, I'm down with it, bro.
Hey,
start it before it happens.
Let's go, dude. There'll be rainbow flags that are like just marching towards. They're gonna have like big dildos and pussy hats like going into the White House.
My boy, hell yeah, I like that.
So funny.
We should psyop that, dude. Create it.
That would be. Well, no, they got in a lot of trouble for that with J6, dude. Well, maybe.
No, we talk other people into do it. We could get like a 4chan thing going.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Where you just do the Blenus nudge or whatever to them.
Man, we should go in there and show them a piece of what's what.
Yeah.
I won't, but someone should.
Yeah, we should totally do that. Yeah.
Oh,
no, we shouldn't.
No. Yeah.
For the record, no, we're not doing that. This is all jokes.
Yeah.
So if that happens, it was not us.
Right. Yeah. If you really want to stick it to your government, just choose not to participate in their bullshit.
Opt out, bro.
Yeah.
Opt out.
Find you like local farmers and fucking buy from them, and find small time vendors that aren't beholden to the big money interests and the international scam that is fucking monetary influence.
Do what I did. Move out to the middle of nowhere where you don't even have phone service. Find yourself.
Yes.
And just live your life, bro.
Absolutely, dude. I couldn't agree more. Like every single day I'm itching to get out of the city so bad.
Get the fuck out here, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's tough, man. Money. It's always money.
I know it.
Oh,
I know it. In a surrounding, in the middle of nowhere area,
yeah.
but
I mean, anyway, I'll edit that out.
Okay.
But I did want to talk about those AI plants. We'll probably do that on the next episode.
That's fine. Yeah, when I'm a little bit more, because I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm riding that edge.
Yeah.
I'm edging hard
On this day.
I'm edging. So but I love the fucking performance that you gave me or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I dug it.
Hell yeah. Well, I know you had a busy week, so I was like, here, dude, we're just gonna go on a ride and I'll drive.
Bro, I had a busy week, but I was not gonna miss this Friday night recording for anything. You know
let's fucking go, dude. But yeah, that's all I've got, dude. 2020 was fake. 2024 was probably fake. 2016, and I'd say probably the last 50 elections.
Let's just be honest. From before 1776, even before that, like, it's all fake, bro.
Yeah.
Everything. And I mean, and none of us were here to we just got the history books. So, I mean, imagine what they're going to put about today in the history books. You know, it's like, we know it's bullshit, but I'm sure there were people around then like, what the fuck is this? This is bullshit. But their fucking testimony isn't there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
it's fucking nuts.
Yeah, but if you made it this far, we love you guys, bro. Episode Dirty 30 in the fucking books, bro.
Hey.
We're almost to 50, bro. I mean, we're over halfway to 50.
Yeah, dude. I'm excited.
That's crazy. That's crazy, bro.
Man, we're gonna turn around one day and it's gonna be episode 1000.
And we're gonna be like, holy shit, I'm 45 years old.
Yeah. But hey, dude, who knows where it'll take us, you know?
Yeah, bro. Hell yeah. I'm digging it, man. So I ain't gonna, even if it goes nowhere, bro, I enjoy it too much to not do it. So
hell yeah. Same here.
And I think that's what it takes, is to actually enjoy it. You know?
It doesn't feel like work most of the time.
Exactly, bro. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, check your boy out, Oatsman, on YouTube for some bullshit normie content. I ain't really been posting much. I got a bunch of shit going on in my life, but I will try to continue. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, all that shit. Check out your boy 7C's on literally every platform, even his own platform, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Motherfucker's got his own fucking streaming website and shit going. Wild, insane shit.
Hey, 7cs.tv, man. We're not live there often, but when I need to be live anywhere that isn't going to ban me, might as well be my own spot, right?
He's got it, though. If all else fails, he will be there.
Oh, yeah.
My boy.
Thanks, man. And music coming soon, too.
Oh, you showed me a teaser last time I saw you, and my God, is it something that is beautiful, bro.
Hey, fuck yeah, dude. I appreciate it.
And I think it's something that we need more of in the world, so be on the lookout for that.
Fuck yeah. Well, that's going to do it, everybody. Hope you have an awesome rest of your night, and we'll see you next time.
Peace out.
Peace.